Hey guys, I'm back with a new video. Okay, you guys have seen the title bar. This is all about my father. And if you are not interested in this kind of content, you can check out my other videos. But if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will be informed of new videos that I upload. And this is not the usual thing that I upload on this channel, okay? So yes, that's why I'm asking you to subscribe. Okay, so let's get started with this video. This video actually is something for myself. Like, I'm making this video for myself so that when the time comes that I'll have my own kids, they would know that their mom is a weird kid towards their dad, their grandfather. Yeah, it's such a weird thing I'm doing, right? But yeah, if you guys do not know, I lost my dad 8 years ago. It's been 8 years. I lost him last July 10, 2010. That was one of the biggest blows in my life when he passed away, because I was starting to be an adult at that time. I was around 20, 21 when it happened, and I was a nervous wreck when it happened because it was totally unexpected. Okay, let's go to the good parts. Okay, let's talk about good memories first, because we'll go to the not so good memories later on. This is so hard because I'm like telling you really, really weird stuff that I did as a child. As a child, I am the youngest of 3 siblings. So, and I'm also the only girl, so expect that all the attention is either my oldest brother or myself. And when it comes to like cute and really like, you know, naughty stuff, I'm the one involved. But when it's like grades and school and stuff, that's my older brother and my other brother. They're more interested in me being weird than me being good in school. I'm like talking smack about my parents. It's so bad. But yeah, they are really cool parents. My parents are cool parents. You know, they don't force me to attend like Kumon. They do force me to have a tutor when I was a kid. And one specific memory I had with my father as a young child was me smelling his feet. I'm not kidding. It's true. I had this weird fascination with the smell of his feet, and I would either compare the smell of his feet to a banana or a banana ketchup. It's so weird. Like, pag naaalala ko siya, it's like, why did you do it, Alice? Why? Oh my god. And I had this really vivid, like, really intense memory flashback when I was a kid. I would remember, like, I would be lying down next to my dad most of the time. Like, I'm really clingy towards my dad. Like, I really cling on to my dad and my mom, if time permits me. I would cling on to them, and then whenever he would take off his shoes, when he, you know, went out and just got back home, I would just, like, crawl my way towards his feet, and I would just, like, put my nose in between his toes and just do that. I know, right? Ang weird, baliw. And I would be like smiling from ear to ear, nakakaloka, and I would be like, amoy banana. And then my parents and everyone in the room would just burst out laughing. And at first they would be like, what the heck? And then they would laugh. Alam mo yun, I was a weird kid. Another memory I had with my father was he would always barter with me when it comes to afternoon naps, because your girl is not interested in that afternoon nap when I was a kid. Hindi talaga, as in I would, like, I wouldn't throw a fit, I wouldn't throw a tantrum about it, but the way that I would do it is I would just like be quiet and sulk. So he would always coax me, like he would always barter with me, like, you need to sleep because you will grow, which is not true. Hindi tatanggal ang isang bata pag natulog siya sa hapon. Mm-mm. It doesn't really promote growth. It just promotes the child to have a healthy sleeping pattern. I'm not kidding. So he would always barter with me, like, if you wake up at this time, we'll go to Jollibee. If you wake up at this time, we'll go to Tapaking. It's a win-win situation because I love both of those places. I'm not kidding. I grew up with Jollibee. I grew up eating Tapaking, and it's like amazing. So yeah, I would always sleep with my father in the afternoon. Like, it's weird. It's not really weird because it's like more of a bonding thing between a daughter and their father. And that was the only time that I remember I have like quiet times. I would hug my dad as a child. Like, I'm really clingy towards my dad. Like, I would, punch someone if they talk smack about him in front of me. And that's one of the things I love about my childhood, is most of them involves me being clingy towards my parents, not just my father but also my mom. So let's move on to like grade school, high school age. Okay, let's pagsamahan na natin. In grade school, I mostly spend afternoons by my own, and usually my dad is the one working at home. He works as a stay-at-home technician, on-call technician, and at times when I'm so bored, I would just like look at him. I would just like watch him do what he does. And it's weird, like, we have television, we have cable back then, but I find it amazing and like jaw dropping for me to see him like tinker on those circuit boards. It's weird. As a kid, like, I would do that, and I would just like watch him and like watch intently what he's doing. Tapos moving forward to high school, my dad actually was the one that drops me off at school and picks me up in the afternoon. I'm not kidding you guys. First year to third year high school, I was picked up and dropped off by my dad. And I studied in a Christian school. He basically taught me a lot of stuff during those years, like my high school years. He taught me how to iron my uniform. He taught me how to make rice. He taught me a lot of household chores because my mom wasn't really there during that time because she was busy working. And it was like one of those things that you wouldn't realize that he was teaching you life until this happened. Okay, I'm not I'm like telling myself not cry in this video because whenever the topic of my dad comes into place, it just makes me cry. And it's weird. Maybe because I miss him every day. Alright, let's move on. College years. College years was sort of a weird, sort of cool moment for us because he would teach me more stuff about life when I was in college. Like, he taught me how to do my own laundry. He taught me how to do this. He taught me how to do a lot of stuff that I will be using once that I am an adult. And there was one incident that it like really, really solidified that he's teaching me really hardcore stuff. He actually taught me how to process my own papers for my educational plan, like to get the check, to get the forms, to go to where I need to go. He's usually the go-to guy for anywhere. Like, how do I get here? He's like the human Waze when I was a kid. He was the human Waze. Waze wasn't a thing back then, but there was my father. And he would also be the one that would take care of my schedule board, which kind of sucks because whenever I would be interested, in being a naughty child, of cutting classes, because I did that as a kid, he would know exactly my schedule. And he would also be, sometimes he would text me out of the blue asking me, are you in school? Because there was a time in my college years that I had like this huge free time. Like I'm not kidding, like 5 hours of no classes. I can easily go to the mall and not attend my last class and go home. Like I can easily do that, but he was really stern about it. Like, hey, you need to get all of your units done. You need to do your best in school, and life will be good to you. There was one instance though that me and my dad had this huge argument, and I'm not kidding you guys. We had a screaming match, and it left me crying. I can't remember exactly what we were fighting about back then. But I remember him sitting in his usual spot. He was watching TV. And my mom just talked to me, and she was like, you know what, your dad is parang, you know what, yung papa mo nagtitiis sa ugali mo kasi hindi talaga ako mabait na bata. I was a bitch, I'm a bitch. Like, I was a bitch to my dad. I have really bad attitude problems when I was in college, and I would have screaming fits with my dad. It's not all flowers and rainbows and butterflies. And I remember it happened here in our sala, but it was back when we had like remodeled this, like the standard format it had before. I saw him sitting in his spot. He was watching TV. And I just ran to him after my mom talked to me about it. And I was crying. I was saying sorry. I was like, I'm so sorry, pa. Sorry. And I was like crying. I was bawling. And the look of, like, I think that was the only time he was disappointed. And it hurt me. Because I was such a bitch to him. I said I'm not gonna cry. But I remember that time. It's ingrained in my system. Now, I was such a bitch to my dad that time. And my pride was so high that my mom had to talk me out of it. And I'm so, like, after that incident, my relationship with him actually improved. I wasn't as bitchy as I was then. Not because I needed to be on his good side again, but alam mo yun, it's really weird when you have a huge fight with your father and you realize you're the one that's wrong. I remember yung itsura niya noon na parang nagpipigil siya na nagagalit siya. He never hit me as a child, nor as an adult. He never hit me, he never like laid a hand on me. He would actually scream at me. Like, he would call me out, but never once laid a hand on me. And the look on his eyes back then was utter disappointment. And he sad. He was so sad. Alam mo yun, naalala ko yun. Naalala ko yung time na yun. Na parang, ang tanga-tanga ko. Nagpadala ako sa pride ko kasi we were screaming at each other and I slammed the door. And I was like super angry at him. Alam mo yun. After that, yes, nag-improve yung relationship namin. We became closer. And then when I started working, he would take care of me. I remember there was one time, New Year's Eve yun eh. Nag-New Year's Eve ako sa bahay, but then I had to go to work. And he was like, dadaling kita sa office nyo. Ihahatid kita hanggang Cubao. Kasi my office back then was in Taguig, but then we had a shuttle service from Cubao to Taguig. I was working as a call center agent back then. I know he was tired, but it was fine by him. It was fine with him. Alam mo yun, na-appreciate ko yun. Hindi ko lang nasabi ko sa niya thank you, but throughout my life with my father, there were only rare occurrences that I told him I love you. And he's not the kind of person that would also say I love you. He would actually show his love through doing stuff for you, buying you gifts. He's not the vocal kind, but he shows his love. Namimiss ko siya. Namimiss ko siya. Kasi, you only have one father in your life. I had mine. I lost him. You know, kahit may pumalit na pwedeng sabihin, you can call me Papa, you can call me Dad. It's not really the same. Alam mo yun, I've had, like, older man figures in my life that would actually tell me na, call me your Papa, call me your Dad. I can be your second dad. It's fine, thank you, but no one will replace my father. I'm not gonna, like, when I lost him, there was this, parang nagkaroon ng literal slap sa mukha ko nung nawala siya. Na, hey, you need to wake up. Your papa is gone. And, it's hard when you lose your father. So, to everyone, if you still have your father, tell them you love them, show them you love them. Alam mo yun, hindi kasi, alam mo yun, hindi natin alam kailan sila mawawala. Kailan tatanggayin sila. And it hurts me whenever this happens to me. It hurts when these kinds of things happen to me. It's hard. O, diba, ubos na yung makeup ko, kakaya. Siguro, one thing I can give you guys as an advice is, yun nga, talk to your dad, spend time with him. Alam mo yan, most fathers are not like the fathers nowadays that they're really, you know, saying I love you. There are still fathers that are old school, like my dad, that they either show their love to you by what they do, like what they, you know, do for you, or they teach you how to live your life, or how to be a, you know, better adult. One thing I wish is, like, there was this one time in my life that I wish that it never happened when he died. I wish that it never happened, and this is all a dream. I'm not kidding you guys. And I know some of you guys who have lost a very, like, special someone in their lives would also have the same thing. Like, bakit? Kawan na wala ngayon? Why now? Stuff like that. So, yeah. That's basically it for today's video, guys. I know, nakakahiya. But I have to go, guys. Thank you so much for watching.